Alright, so what my goal for this video today is to talk about how I see the differences between lust and love. There is a reason I am making it here. Before I start, just letting you know this is a community park. If you see people walking by, I'm trying to keep them out of the shot, but it might happen. And I will explain why I'm making it here, hopefully by the end of the video. People walking by are probably going to think I'm insane, because I'm going to demonstrate something to you at the end of the video. My goal is to give you examples of my past experiences, past relationships, on how I see the difference between lust and love. So, first I'm going to start by saying that love is a concept that I don't think I will ever truly, completely understand. I read a book about it, a few books, I mean we all have, right? But this one was specifically a chapter just on what is love. And they were talking about familial love, love between friends, love between partners, perverted love, aka lust. So I'm going to talk about how I see that today. I will be talking about the flower, right? And I'm not speaking of the virgin flower, how if you enter into physical relations that you have destroyed your flower. This is more of like a gardener's commitment to their flower type thing. So if I talk about that, that's what I'm talking about, and I'll explain deeper in a second. So throughout my life, I have found myself in numerous relationships. I realize I just said that there's familial love, love between friends. This one that I'm going to be talking about today is love between partners, people you choose to spend your life with. I have attempted to find that love, that partnership, since I was 17 years old, and I found myself falling in and out of these relationships, and every single person that I was with, I said, I love you. But then when they would ask me, why do you love me? At first, when people would ask me that, I would be so happy, like, I love you because you're beautiful, because you make me want to be a better person. I love you because of what they had to offer me. And I didn't realize that until recently, that every time I said I love you, it wasn't because I loved them, it was because I loved what they gave me. All of them. And due to that selfish reasoning, I caused a lot of pain, and I felt a lot of pain. So when I'm going to talk about the gardener and the flower, this is how I see it. I'm not trying to brag about the number of people that I have been in romantic relationships with, but it's a number I'm not proud of, guys. I used a lot of people. So my very first relationship that I got into, my first romantic relationship, was in high school. And I was in a relationship with this person for 2.5 years, but since it was a same-sex relationship and I grew up believing that it was wrong, and I was still identifying as a Christian at the time, I prayed and made a promise to God that I would stay with this person no matter what happened, that my love was unconditional. So in that way, maybe there was a loophole, that if I showed love, not lust, maybe I would get a pass on this whole hell thing that I was taught. So I did that. For 2.5 years, I stayed with this person, no matter what happened. And I sincerely believe that I tried to give my all. But when they didn't want that, it angered me. It hurt me. I reacted. I hurt them back. Because my love was not unconditional. I had conditions. You need to be faithful. You need to be with me. And as soon as they would go astray, and look for that love somewhere else, I took offense to it. I stopped loving them. But I made a promise to God, right? Not to this person, but to God. So I stayed with him for 2.5 years, and I wanted to kill myself at the end of it. I felt so much pain and so much heartbreak, and I'm sure that they felt something maybe. And that was my first experience of love. Love that I thought was love. She said she loved me. I said I love her. And every relationship after that, up to a certain point, was me trying to feel love, feel acceptance. What do these people have to offer me? So I would jump into these relationships, and since the physical boundary had already been crossed, I no longer felt that it was something important. So I would jump into physical relationships with pretty much anybody I met right off the bat. It started becoming sooner and sooner. You know, I knew you for 3 months, jumped into bed. 2 months, jumped into bed. Started being a week, jumped into bed. Oh, I just met you. I love you. Jumped into bed. And I couldn't figure out why I was being hurt so much. And it's because I did not know them. They did not know me. So when I talk about the flowers, when I see something beautiful, if I see a beautiful flower and that beauty makes me want to have it, what I will do is I will just go and pick it. It's not a hard action to do, to just pick this flower, but now I have that flower, I have this beauty for me. But what I did was I cut off that flower's life support, the essence of that flower, for my selfish reasons, and because of that, it will die. Okay? So that's what I did with all of my relationships. I picked it, used it, it died, I was sad, they were sad, we were broken, and I could not figure out why this love was hurting so bad. And it's because it wasn't love. It was that instant attraction to, you are beautiful, I want you, all right, and now you're mine. In my boundaries video, I said that I didn't care about them enough to violate that. So when I said that, what I meant is I didn't see enough beauty in them to just snap that, to take that. That's what I meant. And when I said it sounds so twisted, it's because that is twisted. Because if you see something beautiful, why would you end it? You know? And every person that I was in a relationship with, yes, they are beautiful people. But I did not know the depths of who they were, and they did not know the depths of who I was, and we did not accept each other because of that, so it died. So that's how I see lust, is just picking it. When you walk by a flower, you don't even have to kneel down to pick it up, right? You just take it. So, now what does love mean to me? Again, love is complicated. Now, here I'm going to explain to you the one relationship I've been in where I do feel like it was love, is love, and will continue to be love. If you hear the waterfall behind me, there's a rock over there. That one, I think. That 4.5 years ago, after I got out of rehab, I sat on that rock, and they gave us this packet to set out our goals for the future. A 1-year goal, 5 years, 10 years, like what your life will look like all the way up until, like, I think it was 50 years. And when I sat on that rock, I was in a relationship with somebody who was hundreds of miles away from me, right? But when I wrote my goals, how I saw myself in the future, I kept finding myself putting this person in there. I want to do this with this person. I want to be with this person. And 4.5 years ago, I did that on that rock. Now, after that happened, about 3 weeks after I wrote my future, what my future would look like, we ended up breaking up. And it hurt because I lost something that I felt was love. And at that time, though, my perception of love was skewed. So I did not understand exactly what was going on, because this was the first time that a relationship had ended simply because we could not be together. It wasn't out of anger, it wasn't out of hate, resentment, jealousy, finances, none of that. It was just, we can't be together. And long distance or not, I would have stayed because I cared about this person. That didn't work for them. And I was upset. I reacted. And then, they moved on. And I still felt love. I still cared about this person, no matter what they did, no matter who they got in a relationship with, no matter what they were doing. That feeling of caring was still there. It was unconditional. When they started having children, started talking about marrying other people, I still love them, because the reason I believe it is love is because there is nothing that I want from this person. The only thing I want for this person is for them to find happiness and contentedness. And do I wish that was with me? Do I wish I could be the source of their happiness? Yes. And I'm not going to pretend like that is not something I desire. But I accept that if I am not that person for them, I'm not going to force my way into their life. I'm not going to manipulate them and try to make things work to my advantage. If they find happiness with this other person, I am so happy for them. Because my love is unconditional for this person. There's nothing that they can do that would make me say, I hate you. Do I hope in the future that maybe one day we'll be back together? Yes. And is that because I want something from them? No. The reason I want to be in a relationship with this person is because the only thing I want is to experience life with them by my side. I want to be able to be their biggest fan, the front row to their show. I want to watch them pursue their passions, see the world with them. Not even to just see the world with them, but to see the way they react when they see beauty. I want to watch them grow. And even if I'm doing that from afar, they're still thousands of miles away from me. And we have a small connection, which I am grateful for. And if we lose that connection, I sincerely believe that my feeling of love will not end. Because if they contact me 35 years from now and say I am happy, and they tell me about their life, then I will be happy for them. That's why I believe that it's love. So, after the relationship ended with this person 4.5 years ago, I did try to get into relationships with other people because the idea of living life alone didn't feel right to me. It was scary, I guess you could say. It felt lonely. So I did what I knew. I manipulated people and entered into selfish relationships because they had something to offer me, and what they had to offer me was company, affection, attention. That's all I wanted. So after that relationship, I did get into 3 other relationships. If you watched my Unprovoked Acknowledgements, the first relationship I got into was the second story that I talked about in Unprovoked Acknowledgements. Because there was familiarity to the two. There was something in common. So I entered into that relationship. And then after that one ended, went into another one with somebody who I had known for about 8 years. And I knew that they cared about me. So I entered into that relationship. And when they would ask, why do you love me? I would get mad. And finally one day I said, I don't love you. And that broke them. And then I entered into the third relationship. And this one was, I was tired of the getting to know somebody process. So after knowing them for 2 days, we got engaged. And when I say 2 days, I literally mean 2 days of text. Hi, my name is Krista. You want to get married? Yeah. Cool. So we entered into that, and that was lust too. All I wanted was what they had to offer. And when I was in the relationship with the third person, when we would be intimate, I started to question who I was. And I thought that it was because of my religious background, but it was really because my heart already belonged to somebody else. So when I was trying to show love and affection towards these new people, it made me feel wrong. It no longer felt right, because I cannot sincerely, fully, 100% love somebody else if I am in love with somebody from the past. And it's been 4 years since I've seen this person that I love, but I cannot, that feeling has never subsided. So the point that I'm at now is I am single, but I am unavailable because I have never fallen out of love with this person. Good morning. I'm good. How you guys doing? Alright, so the reason I paused is because I would have continued talking, but this is the point where I'm going to make a fool out of myself. And I didn't want to do that in front of people, even though they're probably going to see me because there's people everywhere. But so when I think about physical relationships before marriage, I don't condemn people for doing that because I've done that and I understand why it happens. But at this point, I don't do that anymore because for me that is just picking the flower, and I'm tired of cutting people off of the root of who they are. So if I were to propose to somebody, I always wondered growing up, why do people kneel? And people told me all different stuff. It's showing that they're going to be submissive, that they're bowing down to this person. But with my scenario, the way that I see this is, if you're a gardener, right, and you're about to take this flower and move it somewhere else, you can't just pick it because you might cut it off from its source. So you kneel, right? So I'm about to display this. If I were to propose to somebody, when I kneel, this is what I'm saying. I have to get on my knees because if I am going to take this beautiful thing in the world, I have to get on my knee and go into the soil to take it from the bottom of its roots to bring it up. So if I get on my knee to propose to you, what I'm saying is I am accepting all of you, the root of who you are, what I have not even seen yet. I'm accepting all of you and I will care for you. So if I see somebody on their knee proposing, that's what I think they're saying, is I'm accepting all of you. If I ever get on my knee for a person, that is exactly what I'm saying. So for me, that's what love is. And since at this moment I'm not with the person that I love, I am okay with that. I'm happy. And what I do in their absence is I just try to be the best version of myself possible. I hated cooking for the longest time, but I learned to cook just in case this person decides that they want to try it out and they say, I'm hungry. What can I offer them? I learned how to make this bomb-ass food. Can I cook for you? If I was in a relationship with this person, my only goal would be to support them, to follow their desire and their passions, and to stand by them in that. So in their absence, what I do is I try to become the best version of myself possible because I don't feel it is acceptable for me to ask that person to accept anything less than the best for me. Now, let's say 80 years pass and we're never together. I'm okay with that too. Because in their absence, I am striving for greatness. And it's not for them. It is for myself. But also because if I am going to enter into a partnership with somebody, then yes, it is also for them because I want to be able to offer as much as possible for this person. I want to be as selfless as possible and expect nothing from them. Whatever they have to offer, I will accept. And whatever they can't offer, I will accept. It's complicated because I am human and I do feel pain sometimes when reality hits that I may never be with the person that I truly love. But as long as they're happy, I'm happy. So I hope this video made sense. I could go into love and lust for a long time. I would like to talk about, love between friends at some point, because there's somebody in this world that means everything to me, but they're just a friend. So maybe at some point I'll talk about that. I think that every relationship you enter into with any person, not even a romantic relationship, just any relationship you enter in with another person, is extremely important. And I try to show unconditional love with every person who enters into my life. A life without them feeling like I have expectations from them. So I practice that constantly. Would I like to be able to die with somebody by my side? Yeah, I think that would be cool. To have that 50-year anniversary, I think that would be cool. But if I don't get that, I'm okay with that too. Because even though I only got to be in a relationship with this person for a short amount of time, I can say that I loved wholeheartedly, unconditionally at some point in my life. And I died loving wholeheartedly and unconditionally. And I'm grateful for that. So that is what I learned today. Again, I hope you're happy. I hope you're content. I hope you're living your best life. And I hope you're passionate.